Hey yo, welcome back to the Down Low. It's your boy Drew Cab. We're going another solo today. Solo dolo again. I watched that Stranger Things release thing, the red carpet event for the premiere. That's what it's called, premiere. I watched the Stranger Things premiere, and let me tell you now. They did not look comfortable with each other. That was acting if I've ever seen it. She said, he's like my dad. He's like my dad. Did you file a harassment report against this man? Did you say he was bullying you? I guess dads bully people now. I guess your father is your bully. He's just like Papa. Is that low-hanging fruit joke? I don't care. I don't care. Oh man, it's okay because just like Hopper said, she's a brat. B-R-A-T. It's the word of the day. Look it up. Man, give it up for Millie Bobby Brown. She's a mother now. She adopted a baby. That's dope. I respect her in that aspect. But at the same time, she seems like she's insufferable to be around. Maybe that's just me being an asshole. Maybe that's just my biased opinion. I enjoy her acting. I will say that. I do enjoy her films and her Stranger Things and other shit she's been in, which I probably can't name anything else. I can name the one. But yeah, man, I like her acting. She's a good actor. But she does seem like she's very unpleasant to be around. I'm not a big fan of how she switches in between an American and British accent, just like willy-nilly. That gives me very much the vibe of Alec Baldwin's wife. You know? It's like, stick to one or we think you're faking both. Pretty much. Oh, man. People have been going around asking people if you're on death row, what would be your last meal? Man. If I was on death row, I had one last meal. I'm going to go corn on the cob for my side. I'm going to go chicken fried steak for my entree. And give me a big motherfucking chicken fried steak. Don't skim on the portions. I'm dying, baby. Then I want some mashed potatoes, some real southern mashed potatoes, you know, some skin still attached. I'm not talking about this fucking instant mashed potato bullshit. I want some real fucking potatoes boiled, mashed with some fucking sour cream and butter and skin still on, you know. Then, oh man, for another side, I'm gonna have to go with some green beans. Give me some green beans with a little bit of bacon inside, a little bacon kicked in with it. Hell yeah, some country gravy smothered all over right on top. That country gravy right on top of that bad boy. Everywhere, all over, fucking all of it. Fucking I'm dying anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm going out today. What else do you want with that bad boy, Mr. Cab? Let me think, CO. Let me get a gallon of sweet tea. Make it 2 gallons of sweet tea. Definitely. And to top it all off, I want some cheesecake and some Bluebell ice cream. It's gotta be Bluebell. You bring me some Blue Bunny and I might crash out. I may crash out. No. Not might. What? I'm gonna crash out. 100%. You bring me Blue Bunny instead of Bluebell for my final wishes? I'm gonna fucking... You're going with me, buddy. We're going together. I hope you fucking enjoyed it. I hope whatever fuck you ate for your lunch break was good. Because we're going together. We're both gonna meet the maker together, buddy. That's it. Comment down below what your last meal would be, man. Yeah. It's always crazy to think about. Like, it makes me think, like, if it was my last meal, what would I be in prison for? What would I even, like, why are they executing me? The only thing I could think of is, like, I'm a 1920s bank robber, you know? 1920. I'm over here. I'm fucking hitting banks and jumping in my fucking Ford Model T, you know, and fucking hauling ass down the fucking gravel road, you know. I got a posse down the road chasing me. I can hear them. Come on, let's get them. Let's get them. And I'm fucking shooting shots in the air with my Tommy gun, you know. Fucking. But they catch me. They catch me. They always do, you know. I run out of gas or something. There's not gas stations nearby. It's 1920s. I run out of gas in the middle of a field. I try to fucking take it on foot. They stop at a farmer's house. They're like, hey, we got a fucking bank robber running through your pasture. Fucking good old Samaritan says, use my horse. Go get him. They jump on the back of that fucking horse and they fucking whip me down. Drag me off to the jailhouse, and that's the end of Poultry Cab, the bank robber. Oh shit! That's the only scenario I could think that why they would be executing me. You know, that I can't see myself doing anything else execution worthy. But back in the day, I think you rob a bank like that, I think they might take you to the middle of the gallows and hang you. Or put you in an electric chair, you know. I can't believe they still use the electric chair in some cases. And now that the drugs for the lethal injection are scarce, there is some cases where some states have brought back firing squads. So if you kill somebody in certain states and you get sentenced to death, they can straight up line up 3 people with rifles and shoot you to death. That's fucking crazy to me. That's insane. I've never heard in my life of firing. So I've never even heard until I was an adult of people still dying from the electric chair. I guess since, like I said, since the lethal injection drugs have become more and more scarce, they're just like, well, let's find some more creative way to kill these bastards. It's so crazy. There was a dude, I forgot what state it was, but I think it was last year. They killed him by firing squad. And they said it almost didn't kill him because 2 of the shots missed his heart. So that's pretty fucking crazy. And yeah, now they're bringing back the electric chair so they can just fucking zap bap and gotcha, you know. That'd be a fucking crazy way to go out, you know. Just like electricity to your brain. You could imagine how painful that would be. Supposedly it wasn't supposed to hurt, but I call it complete bullshit. Like, there's no way that wasn't excruciating pain. Like, there's no way that wasn't just fucking hell on earth. Just insane. Just 10,000 volts to the dome, bro. It's probably, I don't even know. It might be more than 10,000 volts. But it's a lot. Enough to kill you. Enough to definitely kill you. They had to, like, put a sponge on your head and wet the sponge in between the fucking electrical thing and your head to make sure it doesn't burn you. So that's the amount of electricity that fucking chair holds. That's the real hot seat. Oh, man. Bank robbers are interesting to me, though. I read a bunch of Western books when I was younger, and there was one that stuck with me. It was about Jesse James, and just the shit he got into, and like, was astounding, honestly. It's honestly very impressive. Him and his brother were bank robbers together, and his brother's name was Frank, I believe. But yeah, they would just go around fucking hitting shit up, bro. This book theorized that he lived longer, that he faked his death, and that he lived longer than what he said. And it was a very interesting book. It was called Shot in the Back. And yeah, the theory in the book is that he faked his death. He had a lookalike come to his house, and then he hired a police officer or this dude, paid him some money. He was like, hey, you can kill this lookalike and then turn his body in as my own, and then police will stop chasing me, and they'll fucking give you your reward money, and everybody be happy. I'll have to abandon my family, but, you know, it is what it is. I'll live, and they'll live, and everybody be happy. And so, essentially, in the book, he kills the dude, the lookalike, and he ends up going on the run, and he ends up taking his son with him. And his son's like 13 years old at the time. And they go around and start robbing more banks, and they buy a vehicle, and they're fucking robbing banks in their car. And they like tie all these historical events that happened in with this story to, like, I guess, credit it a little bit more. And some of them are really, really crazy. Like, there was one story that was in there about, they said that they robbed this bank, and them and their partner left, and in the process of them leaving, their partner was killed, shot in the head while he was in the vehicle with them. So they took the body and went to a home that was being built, and they went into the garage and just left the vehicle and the dead body in the vehicle still. And then they clipped in the book actual news reportings from a newspaper about how they found a body in a vehicle in a home that was being built, and used that as like source of, see this really happen type thing. And there was another one of the book starts off about the old man, like Jesse James has an old man, and he's going to enlist in the World War II to go fight the Germans, but he's like 90 years old, and he's like, who are you? He's like, I'm Jesse James. And then he shows him scars that are, you know, like bullet holes or bullet scars that the actual Jesse James had, and as credibility to show that he really was him, and blah blah blah. And they like have reports of this, but I don't know, it might just be bullshit. But it's an interesting book, Shot in the Back. It's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, it ties in a lot of like historical events to it too, like I said, and like tries to use them as credibility to say this story really happened. But there is some odd similarities, like the old man that went into the Army Recruit Center. Supposedly they have documents of this dude actually going in there and trying to enlist and claiming that he was Jesse James. But his name was like Frank something, or Alexander Frank, which is his brother's name switched. Jesse James' real brother's name switched. So that was like one thing that he said. He said he just took on his brother's name and switched it around. But yeah, so William W. Johnson book. It's pretty fucking cool. Fucking Shot in the Back. I like westerns, man. I like a western because it like takes you out of this world and puts you into a different reality, you know? And it's like, it's weird to think how the pioneers and, you know, the people who were forming this country lived, you know? Because, you know, other countries, they were formed, some of them thousands of years ago. You know, some of these countries are old. There's buildings in the UK there's a pub in the UK that's 1,000 years old. There's nothing in America that's 1,000 years old. Everything here is relatively new, except for anything that was created by the natives. And the natives were, half their monuments and mounds and were destroyed while they're making farmland, you know, or while they're just making fucking plains or giving people land, and it's destroyed by them trying to make fucking crops or whatever, you know. But America, we think like 100 years is old. But other countries, they laugh at 100-year-old artifacts. Like, that's fucking nothing, you know. But us, it's 100 years ago, it was a completely different law of the land, you know. People were dying of illnesses, and there was Native American raids on towns and shit. Maybe not 100 years ago, but 150 years ago, you know. 200 years ago was just straight up fucking chaos in America. 100%, you know. We weren't even set as a country 200 years ago. We had just barely became a country, and we didn't even know what the fuck we were doing. We were colonies. But at the same time, I'm not a history major, so. But like I said, it's interesting to see, you know, how they lived back then, or think about it, you know. And you read a good book, you know, it puts you in that mind state. But it's fun to think about, man. What was it really like for, you know, the natives and, you know, the settlers and pioneers and everyone trying to make their way, you know, when everyone is also trying to claim the land as their own. It's pretty weird. Did y'all know that horses, the wild horses in America, they were brought here by the Spanish, and whenever the Spanish were defeated, they fled and they just left all their livestock and just let it all go. And that's why we have wild fucking horses everywhere in America, especially in like Wyoming state. I say Wyoming state, the state of Wyoming. I'm over here just getting baked with y'all, man. Intrusive thoughts. That's what we should call these solo podcasts, man. Intrusive thoughts. Because I'm just riffing with y'all over here, you know. We're having fun. We're doing our thing. Sometimes I wonder about the indigenous people, especially like the people in rainforests. They use a lot of herbal medicines. How much trial and error does that take to make a medicine out of plants, you know? How many poisonous plants do you ingest before you find out which plants are good for you and which plants are medicines? How many poisonous plants do you put into your body before you find the plants that help you? That's the real fucking question. And then there's millions of plants in the rainforest, like millions of species of plants. Ayahuasca is a combination of two plants. It's like, so to make active DMT in the rainforest like they do, they have to mix two plants out of millions. How did they find out that these two plants mixed together make you trip balls? How long did that take to figure out? Or did another species introduce it to them? Hey man, look, if you mix these two, you could reach enlightenment and grow your species into a higher form of intelligence. Maybe the Mayans left. Maybe they didn't die off. Maybe the Mayans and the Aztecs didn't die off or become the modern day Mexicans. Maybe they dipped, bro. They could have just fucking hit up their homies in Atlantis and be like, hey, I think it's time for us to fucking get the fuck out of here. I don't know. Food for your thoughts, bro. Food for thoughts. Intrusive thoughts. Well, I think that's enough intrusive thoughts for today. Thank y'all very much for listening, man. If you are listening, much love, dude. Y'all follow, subscribe, hit that like button. Yeah, man, let me know what y'all think about all that shit. Thanks, man. Y'all have a good night. Bye.